Hello, it's me again after some time. So I've been staying for a month now in Wales in a co-living community of techies. So we've been discussing a lot of interesting stuff, working on hypercore and our datdot. But because there is like a lot of people around the whole time working together in the office, it was very hard to find time and space, the right time to record this so that I would actually have like a peaceful slot. So I'm very sorry about that. I've been working a lot, but just didn't manage to record anything. So I did some updates in the amendment timeout logic. I also did some renaming from jobs into tasks. So the whole app now has for every role, when we book this role to do some certain job, we don't call it a job anymore, but a task. Because it's more correct, job somehow is related to employment, but here we don't, there is no employment in this app, so everybody can just like apply to do a service, and then their computer executes the tasks and they get rewarded. So then for some time I was busy updating the logic regarding this booking. So before, whenever we selected a certain user, a certain node to do a task, for example, hosting or any of the supporting tasks like encoding or attesting, we just increased the counter on the tasks that are stored under the provider role in the on the chain. And then whenever we were selecting the user, we were checking what is the counter and if it was like enough space that a certain role could take. So for example, if you want to apply as a service provider and you have a certain amount of storage and certain amount of CPU that you're willing to give, then we have to track that we don't overbook a certain node, because then they won't be able to provide the quality service. So I was doing this in many places of the code, and it was just like basically increasing the counter. But now what I did, I wrote a simple function that works for every single role, so that even if you're doing a testing or encoding or hosting, we can call this function and it will book that node, that user for this task. We also now store the task ID, which is basically amendment ID or a certain storage challenge or performance challenge ID, so that later we can also use the unbook function and remove this task from the user once they're done. So I did the book function and unbook function, and then also the rating, because every time that the user finishes the task, we also want to increase or decrease the rating based on the performance, and we also want to reward them. So we are giving also the reward to the user based on their performance. So I was working on this function as well. Currently, the economics about the rewards is a default one, but we will be improving this when we test the whole network. So this is one thing. And now I am continuing with the Swarm. So basically, we still have some issues with networking. I started to work on the module for Swarm so that we don't have to manually each time join the user into the swarm and then disconnect and close all the streams and stuff like that. We want to have like a certain module that will handle all of this. So I started to work on this together with Alex. There is like a lot of uncommented stuff, and I'll have to go back to this and try to improve it so that we can fix these last remaining bugs and finally hand over the milestone number 2. So pretty excited about that. I hope I'll be able to update, to do these videos more regularly now, but yeah, I'm back. So this is what's been going on. You can see everything in the work in progress branch on that dot service. So see you soon again. Thank you.